Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be installing some fender vents by a company called NVY Composites. They're from the Dominican Republic. So right now we're just going to do a quick little unbox and then we'll get started. Sorry I had opened up this package, but I just wanted to make sure everything was in here. So it comes with passenger side, driver side, the clips for the fenders, one for each side. And it also comes with the hardware. So basically we're gonna have to remove the side skirt, the fender, the bumper, the other fender, and the other side skirt. So let's jump into this real quick. Alright, so I got one side on. I know I didn't show you any of the steps, but I wanted to make sure I knew how to put it on first. So basically I had to open up this mounting hole up here, had to add this mounting point here, and then I had to open up the two holes at the bottom and just kind of keep test fitting it, bolting it on, making sure the door open. But it fits pretty good. The gap isn't too severe. The only thing I did notice is right in here there's the mounting tab for the fender liner that I'm going to end up trimming off. But it fits pretty good, so I'm going to move on to the other side and show you step by step how I put this on. So the first thing I did is I put these two bolts in down here. This one's not tightened all the way. This one is snugged up hand tight. So you can see right now it's sitting out from the door, but up here you got some play. So basically I'm just going to pull this over here, and then you see right here is where a mounting point is. So I'm just going to mark that hole right there onto the actual metal, and I'm going to drill a small pilot hole. So there's my small pilot hole. I'm going to end up using these riv nuts, and it's the riv nut gun to mount them. So I have to open up this hole because this kit didn't come with bolts. It came with self-tapping screws, and I'd rather use a bolt than a screw. So let me open up this hole and get this riv nut installed, and then we'll move to the next step. Alright, so this one seems to be fitting pretty well. There's the mounting bolt we just added. That one's in. The two lower ones are in. The gap isn't really too even. It's a little bit wider at the bottom than up here. So right now we're just going to open the door and test and see how well it's fitting. See if we have to adjust it any. So it's making slight contact with the door right here at the top. So what we're going to have to do is take it off again. We're going to slot this hole, and we're going to slot this hole here. That way we can move the top over a little bit. Alright, so after slotting the holes, and I had to add a washer right back here. You can kind of see it sticking out to space the fender vent off the chassis a little bit. But now it clears the door pretty good. Gap is livable, and it's about the same as this side. I also added the same washer back here on this side. As you can see, on this side, clears the door pretty good. So right now, I'm going to test fit the side skirt to make sure those still fit good on both sides. And then I'm going to probably put a mark on the door right here to kind of give me an idea where the fender needs to be cut. But let me test the side skirts real quick. So the side skirt fits pretty good. It's almost dead even. So I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like that on both sides. Alright, so this is going to be my mark where I have to cut the fender. So basically, I pulled a piece of tape real long across here and lined it up straight across, and also took an account for where this kind of bumps up just a tad bit. So basically, once I cut this, I have this plate that sits on here like that, and then it's adjustable. So if you're running a wider tire that sticks out past the fender, you can kind of pull it out. So I did that on both sides. So right now I'm going to pull all this off again, and I'm going to put the fender on the car, and then I'm going to pull a piece of tape to line this up with the fender. So the fender's back on. I mounted it up like I was putting the car back together. That way the fender's just not sitting on there, so I could get the most accurate line possible. So I grabbed the piece from the passenger side, and I have this sitting up right here, and it lines up perfectly to the line that I have to cut. So this part really makes me nervous cutting the fender, because honestly I don't want to have to hunt down another fender. So right now we're at the point of no return. Once I cut this, that's it. But I think I have everything lined up perfectly, so I'm just going to cut this line here. I'm probably going to cut it a little bit bigger. That way I can just take the grinder with the flat wheel on it and take it down as needed. So wish me luck. So I'll cut the line, it's pretty straight. Flip it over. Also notched out this little piece right here. That's pretty much to the top of the edge of the tape, so it's about 1 inch. Alright, so I already came in here and cut off the little metal bracket right there. Just sitting right here. That was to hold up the fender liner. So now I just threw some black spray paint right here just for the time being, so it doesn't rust. So while this is drying, I'm gonna put the other fender on, get my mark for this side, and then cut this fender. By that time, the other side should be dry. So the paint's all dry now. So now I have this little bracket that has to get drilled into the fender. This didn't have any holes in it, but it did come with some super tiny Allen head bolts. So basically from here to here is about 9.5. So I came in a 1/4 inch, marked my first line, 1/4 inch from this side, marked my spot here. So from here to here you have 9 inches. So right in the middle is 4.5. So I'm gonna drill these holes real quick. I have the 3 holes drilled in here now. So now I'm gonna take the top half of the fender and install that. And hopefully I can line this up and just drill straight through these holes that I already have drilled, and use those as a pilot hole to get into the fender. Hopefully I don't have to trim the fender up too much. So this side's pretty much done. After I drilled these holes here, I took this back up, taped it all up, and spray painted the back side where I cut the metal so it doesn't rust. And then I tightened up the 2 wing nuts on the back side that holds these brackets in. I can adjust this out like about a 1/4 inch, but I'll just put it back flat because the tires don't stick out. So there's a decent sized gap right here compared to how the fender is, but this is an OEM, so I didn't think it would fit perfect, but I can live with that gap. Take a step back, it doesn't look too bad. Alright, so everything's back together. Pretty happy with the way it came out. Make sure you guys go check out NVY Composites Instagram and Facebook page. I'm pretty sure they even have an eBay store. They make a lot of other products besides just these fender vents. They do carbon fiber hoods, carbon fiber lips, and they do stuff for like 300ZXs and stuff like that. So make sure you go check them out. But these weren't too hard to install. The bottom holes lined up perfectly. the top hole that goes onto the frame rail. I just need to be slotted, and then you had to add the one hole right where the door harness comes out. But other than that, these were pretty easy to install. I was a little nervous cutting the fender because it'd probably take a long time to get another one, but I'm really happy with the way they came out. So if you have any questions or anything about this, feel free to leave them down at the bottom. Like always, I'll get back to you. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.